Hello everyone, welcome to Shell Point Today for Thursday, July 16th. I'm Rich Nation.
And I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi. On today's show, Mary Moore from the Legacy Foundation will talk about how you can have peace of mind. And Gary Keating will be back to give us another great golfing tip. And we'll throw in another tip just for good measure, this time from Heather Battey and Melanie Broad as they show us some great exercises.
But first, we want to remind you that tomorrow is the time for the Academy class on social media with Public Relations and Events Specialist Sarah Nadal. She manages the content for Shell Point's Facebook page. In this class, she'll share how Shell Point uses Facebook for business, and also how other Facebook users can interact with Shell Point, as well as how to get the most out of their own Facebook pages. The class starts at 10 a.m. in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands.
Also, don't forget the Skin Cancer Prevention and Detection Health Connection class takes place tomorrow. Skin cancer is the most common form of cancer in the United States, with more than 3.5 million skin cancer instances diagnosed annually. You'll want to join Shannon Vixler from Haken Dermatology as she discusses the risk factors and warning signs of skin cancer. She will also show you how to detect and prevent skin cancer for you and your loved ones. The class begins at 1 p.m. in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands tomorrow.
This is the 2015 Resident Viewing Survey. We are asking for residents to take a few moments to give us their opinion about Shell Point TV, which consists of channels 11, 12, and 13. This survey will help inform us how we are doing and what areas to focus on in the future, and what we might do to improve our programming for you, the residents. If you haven't received a survey in the mail, you can also pick one up at either service desk, or you can fill out the survey online at shellpoint.net/SPTV survey. Please note that we are asking for only one survey per household to be filled out. Once completed, written surveys can be sent to the marketing department via intra-campus mail or dropped off at either service desk. The one convenient way would be to fill out the survey online where there's nothing to mail or return. Again, that's at shellpoint.net, and there's a clickable banner on the homepage that will also take you right to the survey.
After the loss of a loved one, pre-planning helps to ease these difficult moments for your family. Many decisions that would otherwise burden your family will already be taken care of, giving you peace of mind. The Academy of Lifelong Learning's presentation called Peace of Mind, presented by the Legacy Foundation, will include such topics as essentials of planning for cremation and planning guide for veterans. Finally, you'll have the opportunity to ask a funeral director the Q&A with a licensed funeral director. Mary Moore from the Legacy Foundation has more about next week's presentation.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath, and I'm here today with Mary Moore, who is the Associate Executive Director of our Legacy Foundation. She's talking about the third Legacy Seminar in our Academy this summer. And Mary, peace of mind is your topic.
Yes, Terry.
It occurs to us as we're talking that you have been following a nice progression to do what Legacy does best, which is help our residents plan.
Well, you know, we had the seminar about estate planning,
right?
Which is kind of your first part of your plans, and then we have had Advanced Directives Month in July,
right,
where all of our residents received a form if they needed to update their living will or healthcare surrogates. Then they're starting to do that now and thinking about their future planning. And now the third seminar we're having is called Peace of Mind, to talk about their final arrangements.
And final arrangements, it's interesting because it's not a topic of conversation that people usually have. So to be able to come to this environment and listen to experts talk about the options.
Yeah, knowing that's what you're coming for certainly helps.
Yes.
And you know, Terry, it's perhaps the greatest gift you can give to your family and your loved ones to make those final arrangements before the time comes, whether it be pre-arranging or pre-planning or prepaying. They are a little bit different. It's just like when you came to Shell Point. You gave a great gift to your family because you knew you'd be taken care of the rest of your life. Coming to the seminar to talk about your final arrangements, or even not just a seminar, or doing it with someone else, that's just so important.
And to get that information, sift through it on your own time, to know the Legacy Foundation is right here if you have questions.
That's right.
And that you have the opportunity to go through this progression in a non-threatening, educational manner.
Absolutely. The difference between pre-arranging and pre-planning and prepaying, it's kind of an option that they'll talk about at the seminar. A lot of people will pre-arrange, and that way it's so much easier on their family members when that happens, because of course it's just an awful time and you're devastated. And to have somebody already put that in place for you is wonderful. The other option would be prepaying in addition to pre-planning, because then you're getting the cost of those arrangements right now at today's rate, and it does not change. So it could be 20, 30 years later, and you have the cost of that at today's dollar.
That's true.
And so some people choose to do that. But if you're not really sure about whether you want cremation, traditional burial, veterans burial, then maybe you can pre-arrange it but not prepay it, because maybe you'll change your mind.
It's right. And then no matter what, your family knows what you were thinking and what you were hoping now.
Absolutely.
As you
Yes.
made your arrangements. That's so wonderful. Let's talk for a minute about who our presenters are going to be. Missy Lastra, Advanced Planning Specialist, and Rachel Shad, Licensed Funeral Director. They're coming to us from Harvey Engelbright Funeral Home.
Engelhart, yes. Missy and Rachel are, I think they were here last year. Harvey Engelhart, as you probably know, is a very well respected and well known funeral home and in this area. And there's other ones that are just as wonderful, I'm sure.
Sure.
But that's who we're having to the seminar. If someone wants names of other ones, then we can provide those at the Legacy Foundation. But Harvey Englehart's going to talk about the different types of arrangements, such as cremation, as opposed to traditional burial. You know, years ago, about 20 years ago, about 80 to 90% of people did traditional burials. Now, it's tipped, and about 56% do the cremation.
56.
It's much less expensive.
Interesting, isn't it? Sure. But something your family would want to know your wishes.
Absolutely.
And not make these decisions
That's right.
for you.
And you'll be getting a packet from them when you make those pre-arrangements. So, and you give one to your family member, and that way they'll know exactly what you wanted.
Fabulous. And if you would like more information about what's going to happen in the Peace of Mind seminar, just take a look at your Summer Academy brochure, read the description, come prepared for an education.
Now, I know it's pretty hot outside, so you got to get up pretty early to beat the heat and enjoy the great outdoors. Head on out to the Shell Point Golf Course while you're at it. But don't leave just yet. First, watch this golfing tip from Clubhouse instructor Gary Keating.
Hi, my name is Gary Keating, golf professional here at Shell Point Golf Club. As you can see, we're on the putting surface here at Shell Point with this Platinum Paspalum putting surface. I've got 3 putters in my hands, obviously 3 different putters. And as you can see, this is what we call a heel balance putter. So if I set this down right here, you can see basically the club face looks down to the sky, okay, or down to the ground. We're going to look at a face balance putter in a second. So this is what we call a face balance. It's a shorter model. Okay, so if I balance this up again, you can see it's almost face balance. So if I move away, you can see the toes just sticking down a little bit. I'm going to show you a face balance putter right here. And you can see this one is absolutely perfectly balanced, okay? So if I can remove my finger, you can see it's perfectly balanced, okay? Now, the putter I've got in my hand is my personal putter right here. And it's the same putter that Matt Kuchar uses. You'll notice the new law has come this year basically about a non-anchored putter. Before I was putting with the long putter, and I really putted very good with the putter. Now that long putter will be outlawed at the end of this year. So I'm looking for a different putter. So I'm trying this putter out right now, and you're gonna see it set up in a little different way. I do like this putter because of the mechanics. You know, when we putt bad, basically what happens is the hands manipulate, or the leading edge goes forward. This putter, you're going to see it's going to be locked into a certain position, and you'll see the hands will kind of stay stable. So the putter actually stays square through the impact position. So I'm going to show you how this putter sets up. So we set it up in a normal way. The only different thing is this shaft runs up the left forearm. So I'm going to set it up so you can see it. So we just putt it like normal. Once again, this is a lock position, and then we just putt normal. So as you can see, it stops any kind of manipulation, any kind of breakdown of the left arm. The difference with this putter, it's got a lot more loft and a lot more offset. Now the word offset is the shaft is basically, if we look at the club face for a second, you can see if I square this club face up, you can see the loft. So it's got a lot more loft, and you can see the angle of the shaft leans back towards the heel of the putter. The reason why is when we put the putter down in its address position, we have to forward push it or press it right here. And as you can see, it looks like my hands are way forward. If we didn't have that additional loft, or we didn't have the additional offset of the putter, we would have it to where we would drive the putter into the ground. Okay, so as you can see, it looks like a normal putter right now. And you can see the manipulation of the hands, it doesn't break down. Okay, and as you can see, the club head is staying square. All right, let's put this thing into action. Let's see what happens here. We're going to try and make a couple putts. So once again, before I putt, I always like to take 2 or 3 practice swings, trying to once again feel the distance I need to hit the putter into the hole or make the correct speed. So we've got a couple little practice swings, set the putter right behind the ball, try and get it lined up nice and smooth, stay still. As you can see, we need to spend a little bit more time on this putting surface with it. We're going to try one more, but once again, I do like the mechanics of here. It doesn't really break down as much. So I think this putter is going to work for me if I can just stay still. Very good. But once again, I can feel less manipulation of the hands. Once again, the hands, we need to kind of stay still, steady. Breaking down the hands is where we get poor putting. Not only distance control, but pulling and pushing left and right. I hope this helps you. You can contact us at webpage at shellpointgolf.com. Thank you.
One final tip today that can get you moving outdoors, or if you prefer, you can do these exercises in the comfort of your own home. Resort Services Heather Battey and fitness instructor Melanie Broad are standing by to give you a great fit tip.
Hi, I'm Heather Battey.
And I'm Melanie Broad.
We're here today with our fit tip.
All right, we're gonna work abs today. So I'm gonna have Heather lie down because she's such a good demonstrator. And today we're gonna do a little bit of Pilates. This is a crunchless abdominal exercise. Crunching is usually when you lift your head and your shoulders. We're not gonna do that.
This.
Yeah, that's a crunching exercise. Great for your rectus abdominis. But we're gonna have Heather lie flat. She's gonna pull one knee into her chest, and she's going to elevate the long leg. Right here, this is, yes, your rectus abdominis, but also your lower body. So I'm going to have her switch legs. Switch legs. Good. Never letting the leg touch the ground. It's giving you leg strength. So how can you make this more difficult? You lift your head. That's it. You have neck troubles, maybe you only lift your head every other one or every fourth one, but this is a great way to tone your whole abdominal from the top all the way down. Good job, Heather.
Thanks, I have a good instructor.
That's it for today's Fit Tip. See you next time.
And now it's time to cover all of today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hello and welcome to the happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Caitlin Vanscoy and I'm here with Bev Chanley, and we're going to let you know all of Thursday's happenings. At 7:15, we have a Health Connections class, Bend, Breathe, and Balance. That'll be in the Health Club. And at 7:30, we have Round Robin Doubles Tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. The Men's Golf Association will be meeting at the Shell Point Golf Club at 8 o'clock. And at 8:30, the Paddlers Club will be headed out for their weekly outing, and they leave from the kayak storage. 9 o'clock is the time for Samba, the card game, to be played in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. And shuffleboard will be available at 9:15. That's at the shuffleboard courts. 9:30, we have current events being discussed in the game room of the Woodlands. At 9:30, we have ladies match play tennis at the Woodlands tennis courts. The introduction to beginning line dancing class will be at 9:45 in the health club. And at 9:45, we have our Singing Through the Summer series continuing at the church choir room of the village church. 10:15, we have basic line dancing in the health club. And at 11 o'clock, we have the Susie Q boat headed out to Rum Runners for lunch. You do need to sign up for that, and it can be at the Island Greeters desk. Well, here's Bev to tell you all about our afternoon lineup.
Thank you, Caitlin. We're going to start at 12:45 today with Mahjong being played at the Library Lounge on the island. At 1:15, the Butterfly Garden Committee will be meeting at the Butterfly Gardens. We have a Health Connections class at 1:30, Aqua Pilates Stretch. That's at the Life Quest Aquatic Center. At 2 o'clock, you'll find the Stamp Ministry down in the stamp room in the tunnel. We have another Health Connections class at 2:45, Balance and Mobility Training Level 2, Session B. That's in the Health Club. Currently, that's full. Our seamstress will be in the Osprey room at 4 o'clock. And at 4:30, our Alcoholics Anonymous meeting will be in the Sable room of the Woodlands. And we round out the day with 6:30 Pinochle being played at the Library Lounge on the island. We're happy to see you here today, and we'll be happy to see you again tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Koleth with your Academy information for Thursday, July 16th. At 9:45, we have enhanced digital photos in the Technology Teaching Center on the island. At 10 o'clock, the search for extrasolar planets in the Grand Cypress Room, and you can sign up right at the door. At 1:45, New Life for Old Computers continues in the Technology Teaching Center on the island. And I'd like to tell you about our new class coming tomorrow. We're going to look at social media, meaning Facebook, with Sarah Nadell, ShellPoint Events Specialist.
Menus for Thursday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is grilled ham steak with baked sweet potatoes and summer squash. The dinner special is the Crystal Carving Board for $13.95, and the soup of the day is potato leek. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a grilled meatloaf sandwich on rye with onion rings for $7.75. The dinner special is Thai night for $8.75. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are New York strip for $19.95 or chicken Florentine for $15.95. Menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, I'm Randy Woods here at the Village Church. I've got with me a cross. It was carved by one of the students I worked with when I was teaching at West Virginia University several years ago. I appreciate having this. It's handmade, carved by my friend. As you know, the cross is one of the most important symbols of the Christian faith, one that has inspired many Christians throughout history. The hymn, Lift High the Cross, may be considered a complement to the well-known gospel song, The Old Rugged Cross. Well, this hymn, Lift High the Cross, was written for a missions festival in the early 20th century by an Englishman, George Kitchen. The text emphasizes a number of implications of the cross of Christ. First, Christ rallies his people behind him and claims them as his own with the sign of baptism. As we sing through the anthem, the third and fourth stanzas emphasize that Christ gathers his people from throughout the entire world, and Christ's victory on the cross enjoins praise to him. I appreciate the hymnologist Ken Osborne, and he's describing this hymn by saying, its images are biblical, its moods expectant, its promises courageous, and its demands costly. Well, the tune for this hymn is called Crucifier, which is a term that is used to refer to the one who carries the cross in a liturgical procession. In a figurative manner, that should mean all of us Christians should lift high the cross. As you see and hear our choir sing this hymn, you'll note that they're accompanied by the symphony brass players and organist Claire Fossey. I trust the message, the text of this hymn inspires you to be a crucifier today, to lift high the cross of Christ.
Well, that's it for today's show. Join us again tomorrow when Employee Christmas Fund Chair Kathy Miskell talks to us about the attitude of yes in our dining services. And we'll recap the top stories from all this week. This has been Shell Point Today for Thursday, July 16th. I'm Rich Nation.
And I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi. On behalf of all of us here at Shell Point TV, we wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you again here tomorrow.